Now we are going to go through the guided practice for special right triangles. Our first problem, we have a 45, 45, 90 triangle. I know it's a 45, 45, 90 triangle. So I have a right angle and one 45 degree angle. That means that the other angle has to be 45 degrees. So I'm going to label it as a 45, 45, 90 triangle. First off, across from the right angle is the hypotenuse. And the hypotenuse in a 45, 45, 90 triangle is x times the square root of 2. And that means the other two sides are both x. And because I labeled, I already know what x equals. X equals 10. So that means that a, which is also x, is 10. Put it down here for my answer. And that means that C, all I have to do is plug in 10 for x. And that gets me 10 times the square root of 2 for C. So please label. Our next problem, again, we have a 45, 45, 90 triangle. I know it again because we have a right angle. One angle is 45 degrees. That means the last angle has to be 45 degrees. And again, we start by labeling the hypotenuse, which is across from the right angle. And the hypotenuse is equal to x times the square root of 2. That means my other two sides are both x. And hey, they're both labeled as a. So we're looking for a. So we know that 16 square root of 2 equals x times the square root of 2. And we need to get x by itself. We have x times the square root of 2, so we need to divide both sides by the square root of 2. That means that square root of 2 actually cancels out on both sides. So that leaves us with 16 equaling x. And that's our answer for A, because A is x. And our last problem on the guided practice. Again, we have a 45, 45, 90 triangle. We know it again because we have a right angle, one 45 degree angle. That means the last angle is also 45 degrees. And we start by labeling our hypotenuse, which is 16, side across from our right angle. And the hypotenuse in the 45, 45, 90 triangle is x times the square root of 2. That means that the other two sides are both x. So now, I'm just solving for x. Got x times the square root of 2 equaling 16. And we need to divide by that square root of 2. That gets us x equaling 16 over the square root of 2. Now, we are not putting this in our calculator, but we're not finished because it's not simplified. And the directions, it did say to leave your answer in simplest radical form. So please remember that we need to take and multiply by our denominator, multiplying by that square root of 2 over that square root of 2. And we're just multiplying across. So that gives us 16 times the square root of 2 over the square root of 4. And the square root of 4 equals 2. So we have 16 square root of 2 over 2. Then we need to look and see if we can divide. And we divide 16 by 2. We can. And that gets us 8 times the square root of 2 as our answer for x, which is also our answer for B. So please, please make sure you label. Start with your hypotenuse. Label it as your hypotenuse. Label it as x times the square root of 2. That means your other two sides are x.